For your information, we are both recorded and we are putting out live on video. So everything that you say and do is on the airwaves. Okay? Motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we open this public hearing.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So this is a public hearing on our rezone. The rules of this hearing is for public comment and is not a question and answer session. Everyone shall exhibit respectful behavior. Only one person may speak at a time, and that person must be recognized by the chairman for speaking. And what we're going to do is have you come up after Mr. Dixon sit back there, and then you'll come up and sit at that chair and give us your name and your address. And if there's anybody gets upset or out of control, they will be asked to leave. So everyone will be given 3 minutes in their time at the podium after Mr. Dixon's original 5 minutes. Okay, Mr. Dixon, please state your name and
Dixon.
And then go ahead and tell us what's going on.
So I'm looking to change that little piece around Tyson from agricultural to residential suburban.
Okay.
And I went in and spoke to Tristan, who was very helpful, and she's kind of held my hand a little bit to know the process, because I've never done this before. And the reason that I'm doing it are twofold. Number one, I have a little piece just down the road from there, 65 acres, and I have a lot of people that come and ask if I'd like to sell some land. I think there's, certainly not everybody, but there's a few people that would like to have a little bit of acreage with their home. They want to have a horse or whatever. And so that, and coupled with the fact that it's extremely difficult to farm 27 acres, because it's hard to get people to come do custom work. They don't want to hook the baler on and come down and bale hay on such a small piece. So it's difficult for somebody like me to go, it's impossible to go buy a baler and a tractor and a swather to farm that with hay. And when they do give you a price for the custom work, it puts it out of the realm of, you could just go buy hay rather than do it. So with the way the Bannock County is leaning towards trying to have some growth, I thought that would be a good little piece to put into some acreage plots and have the area of Bannock County grow in a good way, and it's good for everybody.
Okay. Thank you. We'll go ahead and turn 2 minutes over to Planning and Zoning.
Thank you, Chairman Moser. Hal Jensen, Planning Director with Bannock County. Real quickly, Mr. Dixon has stated that he wants to take his 27.36 acres from agriculture to residential suburban. The two pieces adjacent to the south were rezoned to residential suburban. His piece that fronts Tyhee Road is the last piece that would become part of a contiguous zone. So we recommended that it meets all of the requirements of the intent of the ordinance as well as the comprehensive plan. And we took it to council, and council heard. There was some comment against, and there was a fair amount for, in favor of the rezone at the council meeting, and council moved to approve and send forward to commission for their action.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask you to go ahead and sit back there, and then
Mr. Chairman, just a
yes.
follow-up question for Hal
Okay.
to make sure that I understand this correctly. So the piece that's directly to the south is rural residential, correct?
I believe so.
And then to the north, or south, and then the west is rural residential, and then the east is ag once you cross the canal, and there's a dividing parcel break.
Correct.
Okay, and then ag is across the street on Tyhee, and then Kitty Corner, that's rural suburban,
Residential suburban.
residential suburban. Okay, all right, that's just what I'm just making sure I got my understanding. Thank you.
okay. Those four, Mr. Yost. You'll have 3 minutes, please.
I won't need it. My name is Lynn Yost. I reside at 13982 North Rio Vista Road, about 1 mile due north of this property. And just here to say that I vote in favor, wanted to share my sentiments in favor of this. I think it's a responsible way to utilize that property. The county needs that type of property. There's a lot of demand for it. I think that will be a neat spot to have some larger lots. I know that the county needs smaller lots. We need all kinds of shapes and sizes of lots, and there's a demand for that right now. So that's my vote to, or at least my sentiments, that I would ask you to approve it if it falls within the legal law.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No one is neutral. Mr. Payne, against.
Morning. Hey, I'm here because somebody needs
Please state your name and your address,
Lynn Payne, 12726 North Laramie.
and your 3 minutes begin now.
Okay, I'm here because somebody needs to say, hey, what are you guys doing here? Maybe you're making the biggest mistakes of your life. All the agricultural land is going into houses. And it's not going for our Bannock County people, it's going to California. Somebody with a lot of money. We don't have that kind of money. Well, I don't know exactly what you're doing here. I'm representing my son. He has a 3-acre spot out here. I don't know what you guys have done in planning, but I
Please
don't-
address
To
all
us,
comments to
not
this
to
board.
them.
yeah, I think that we don't want to be included. That 3 acres is where we raise our steers. It's truly agricultural land. It's got trees on it. It's got some 300 trees on it. It's a sanctuary for birds and everybody. And I don't know exactly what you're doing here, but I'd like to say no. No, think about this. You got, okay, 27 acres here or whatever. That whole area is growing into homes. And it's not what you set up to do early on. That's the tiny flats. It's the best farmland around here. If you want to build houses, go up on the benches. Go up there and build the houses. And stop screwing with our farmland. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You have 3 minutes for rebuttal if you wish. You good? All right. Any further comments?
Just an understanding, again, and making sure that we have contiguity. This is not a preliminary, this is just a zoning action, correct?
That is correct.
And this still allows agricultural activities to take place, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Okay.
Thoughts and feelings?
Nope, I don't have any additional questions. So, motion?
I would look at, and while I understand your sentiments, sir, about zoning, we have private property rights that must be adhered to. It's not your agricultural land, it's their agricultural land, and they're the ones that are asking to do something with their ground. And this is always the problem and the question is what's best with your ground. And so in the legal limits of the law, we follow the rules as we put forth in saying that if you meet our criteria, we will allow you to rezone that. With that being said, as I look at this, I do not see any legal criteria to stop this action and allow personal property rights to continue moving forward. So for this parcel, oh, where did it go? There it goes, right there. For this parcel, I would move, where did it go? I had it just set here. Parcel number? I don't have parcel number. They need to put it at the front on the big. The rezoning action on parcel number for the Dixon property. Let's make sure that was correct.
Should be on the very first page of the staff report,
Yeah,
Commissioner.
that's what I'm looking for. The packet has about 15 pages in front of it.
Okay.
I would move. There we go. Thank you. On parcel number RPR 38030511312, that we approve the application and authorize the rezone as indicated.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. That being said, we'll end this public hearing. We'll be at recess until 1 o'clock.
Hal, ask, when you guys submit these, it doesn't, it listed in the